The coolest time machine of all time has got to be Back to the Future's DeLorean. But according to Doc Brown, it needs to go an exact speed for everything to work.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
Shift your mind and consider though, what if Doc was wrong? Does the DeLorean really go 88 miles per hour in the movie? Let's find out. The DeLorean travels through time in 4 different scenes in Back to the Future. But in the 4th time travel at the very end of the movie, the car is flying, not driving, so we're going to ignore this scene and just focus on the other 3. The first clip we'll look at is when Marty tries to escape from the Libyans, gets up to the magical speed, then disappears through time to the year 1955. It's a good place to start because the camera doesn't move in the clip we'll look at, which makes our method easier to explain. To calculate miles per hour, we need to know 2 things: the distance the car travels and how much time it takes to travel that distance. The time part is simple. This movie plays at 24 frames per second, so by counting the number of frames, we can figure out exactly how much time passes. In our case, the car travels from our starting point to just before it starts to disappear here in 12 frames. Divide 12 frames by 24 frames per second to figure out the car is driving for exactly half a second. That's one of the numbers we need, but how far has it driven? To measure distance, we'll use the dimensions of the car as a reference point. The wheelbase of the DeLorean is exactly 95 inches, meaning the distance from the center of the front wheel to the center of the back wheel is 95 inches. We can use this number to mark distance as the DeLorean drives along. First, at frame 0, we'll mark the starting point of the front wheel. Next, we roll forward, measure the wheelbase, and place a mark 95 inches from the starting point. We roll forward more, remeasure the wheelbase, and repeat this process again and again as the car gets further away. Finally, we've measured to frame 12, or half a second later, just before the car disappears. In this position, the front wheel doesn't line up exactly with our marks. But if this mark is 285 inches and this one is 380 inches, that means the front wheel is about 357 inches away from the starting point. That's our total distance traveled in just half a second. Let's convert these numbers to miles per hour to see if the DeLorean is really driving 88. We start with 357 inches traveled per half a second. With the help of some boring math and unit fractions, this works out to be just 41 miles per hour, nowhere near the advertised speed.
Great Scott!
1 scene down, 2 more to go. Let's look at the very first time travel in the movie. Einstein is loaded in the DeLorean, gets up to 88 miles per hour, and disappears 1 minute into the future. Again, we'll mark the starting point of the front wheel at frame 0. Roll forward, measure the wheelbase, and put a mark at the 95-inch point. Roll forward, remeasure the wheelbase, put a mark at 190 inches, and keep going all the way to the last frame where we can clearly see the car before it disappears. We're at frame 16 here, and 16 frames divided by 24 frames per second means this has taken exactly 2/3 of a second. That's our time measurement. The front wheel is between 2 marks again. Based on where these neighboring marks are, this line is about 1,105 inches from the starting point. That's our distance traveled. Is the car going 88 miles per hour? Let's convert these numbers and find out. 1,105 inches traveled per 2/3 of a second gives us the DeLorean is traveling an average speed of 94 miles per hour here. Instead of being too slow, now we're definitely too fast. Maybe the 3rd scene got it right. In the 3rd time travel scene, Marty gets the DeLorean up to 88 just as lightning strikes and Doc connects the cables to send Marty back to 1985. This shot is more head-on, so we'll put our marks on the road. Also, because the car is driving straight down this road, we can measure our span of 95 inches just once, then slide this down and up the road, and it scales properly at any spot. Our starting line is here at frame 0 and distance 0. From here, we mark out distances using our span of 95 inches. Then, roll forward, say hi to the mystery man riding shotgun, and the DeLorean drives 19 frames before it starts to disappear. The front tire is here, and based on the neighboring marks, the car has driven about 644 inches to this point. Last time with the math, 644 inches traveled per 19 frames, which is 0.79 seconds, means the car is driving 46 miles per hour. Again, the time machine is going much too slow. 3 different time travels in Back to the Future, and not one of them at 88 miles per hour. 2 time travels are way too slow, and 1 is a little too fast. So maybe Doc was wrong.
88 miles per hour!
Or maybe Back to the Future is still a magical movie, even if 88 isn't really a magical speed. The DeLorean looks fast when it matters, and that's enough to fool the audience. It turns out we're just really bad at looking at a car and telling how fast it's going.
I gotta go.
What did you think of our review? What do you think of Back to the Future? If you had a time machine, what year would you travel to? Finally, what movie should we fact check next? Tell us in the comments section below. For more great videos just like this one, subscribe and share with your friends. Thanks for watching, and remember,
I'm your density.